they're dealing with. You know what I mean? To know the sport, you need to be into it. You know, and most of people that I think they make the odds, they don't really know the sport very well. They don't respect the submission ability as much as a knockout strike. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I really enjoy. I like my fight with Alves and maybe John Fitch, Thiago Alves and John Fitch, because you know sometimes I win in the decision. It's true. But there's a lot of stuff that I've done in that fight that it was beautiful. It was stuff that I've been working on training camp. Even with Dan Hardy, I'm saying that people sometimes they don't acknowledge submission and grappling as much as knockout, you know, and striking. And it's the truth. I remember in the fight with Dan Hardy, I got Dan Hardy. I slipped off his back. I end up on the floor. I get a position at Shigurami. Leg lock position. Then I went for a sweep and a guard pass, all in the same, like back to back, bang, bang, bang. And I recover from a bad position to a good position. And people who doesn't know the sport of mixed martial art, they don't have any grappling knowledge. They don't even acknowledge what happened, you know. But guy that really know mixed martial art, they can appreciate that more. And that's why, you know, when I talk about Jake Shield, you know, me, I know the danger of this fight because I know grappling. I know what I'm dealing against. You know, I don't know 100%, but I'm gonna find out. But I know how dangerous this could be. Like people, they know they make the odds. They don't even acknowledge the true skill set of Jake Shield, and that is something that really pissed me off. You know, because I have the pressure of going through Jake Shield like a knife in the butter. But they don't understand the danger into it. People keep asking me about, oh, what are you gonna do next? I'm like, it's not what I'm gonna do next. What is happening right now is the most dangerous part of my career the most dangerous threat I ever faced in my career, and people they don't even acknowledge that. You know, it's the same octagon, it's the same rules. It's a different opponent. Of course, this time the bar is raised much higher. I'm fighting much better guys. But, you know, I welcome the challenge. You know, I want to fight the best. I want to be the best. I don't want to be a paper champion. So I want to be a real champion. And to be a real champion, I need to fight the best contender, the best guy. And Jake Shield, I consider Jake Shield like a champion too. He's champion in many different organizations, in many different weight class. Something I never done. So I take this fight very seriously. Pressure is always there. At the point where I am, I realize that every fight, the pressure is always bigger. You know, the sport is getting bigger, fight after fight, so there's more pressure, more people that is watching you. But you need to realize that let's say I would fight Jake in the basement when nobody is watching, you know, maybe the pressure would not have been that bad. So it's, you know, sometimes it's the people around, the entourage that makes it worse. But on the other side, I perform better when I'm under pressure. It's always a distraction. For sure, I'm not gonna lie, the worst part is this, you know, sometimes you have to wake up very early in the morning, do things that it's bad because it messed up your sleep time. But, you know, when you're champion, you know, you have to be ready to make this sacrifice. Some people, sometimes they forget that what pays us is the fans. And the fans, they want to know what's going on with us. And I think it's something, it's very hard to do, you know, it's not fun. But you know, we have to do it. You know, it's a bad side of our job sometimes. You know, doing an interview in the middle of the afternoon is great. You know, sometimes we have to do it, and we don't feel great. We want to rest, something like that. But we have to do it. You know, and it's you know, I'm doing it. You know, there is no perfect job, but it's part of the game. You know. A lot of people, they try to get into my head, you know, I'm used to it. You know, it's just the difference of the personality. I think Jake is a true champion, you know, he doesn't need to. You know, I think someone who trash talk is because it's a lack of confidence of his part. I think Jake, he doesn't need to trash talk. You know, he's a humble guy, but it doesn't mean that he's not gonna go as hard as he can on me the night of the fight. You know what I mean? And the same thing for me. We're both gonna hit each other as hard as we can, and we're gonna go for it. It's not gonna change the quality of the fight. The people gonna have a great fight. This is something I can guarantee you. You know, you want the finish. You want to take him out. I want to use my technique, my skills, and take him away, you know. It's something that I've been working on in training and being able to reproduce that in the scenario of the fight. That's my goal. That's my main goal. There is a teeny line between confidence and being cocky. I don't want to be cocky, but I always knew, even before I start fighting, I always had a very strong belief in myself, a very strong confidence in myself. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've been doing it so great. I always knew before even I started my professional career, I could be champion. I had that belief in myself, and I really believe in deep down in my heart that I could be the greatest, you know. And that's the same belief I think that made me be where I am today. It goes even way before I win the title. And of course, if I would have stopped at that time when I win my first title, I would not have been happy, because I like to know how far I can go. I'm a 170 pounder. If I would fight at 185, it would be a complete reorientation of my career. We've seen in the past boxers like just Roy Jones. To my opinion, what ends Roy Jones' career, winning streak, is when he went up in weight and tried to go back down. It's not the fact that he went up, it's when he tried to go back down that messed him up. And for me, it's a good example, because Roy Jones was known as one of the best of all time before he started losing, And, I think it made me think twice sometimes to change weight. It's not really to go up that hurt you. Sometimes it's to go down. And there is a time frame that you need to respect and do it well, and do it in a proper time, doing in a proper timing as well. So for me now, I don't even consider moving weight right now. I need to fight Jake Shield. That's my main priority right now. After that, we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. The loudest crowd I had in my life is in Montreal, and it was like 24,000 people. It's gonna be a neutral field. We're both gonna be in unknown territory. Like Jake said, he could play well for me. He could play very bad. But the thing is, I need to be focused on the main thing, and the main thing is to win the fight. That's my main focus. I don't care. I'm not going to try to care about the crowd, what they say, if they boo, if they scream. I'm going to be focused on one thing. I'm going to tell you something, guys, about Jake Shield. When everyone thought he was going to lose to Robbie Lawler, I knew he was going to win. I knew it. When everyone thought he was going to lose to Dan Anderson, I told all my friends, I was watching the fight, I knew he was going to win. I knew every single time that Jake Shield was an underdog going to fight, I have the strong belief that he was going to win. The people, they don't realize, because, they see a guy get knocked out, it seems it's very violent, like they see like Dan Anderson with a very powerful overhand, right? He knocked out many people. Robbie Lawler, obviously, a very powerful puncher, knocked out many people. So people forget that a guy who's got good submission hold, it's just as dangerous as a knockout punch. You can be winning the whole fight, the 4 round, and then the 5 round you're winning. At the last minute, you commit a mistake, and bang, you have to tap. Otherwise, your limb will break, or you're gonna be choked out unconscious. It's just as bad as a knockout punch. Jake Shield has a weapon that it's even more dangerous than a knockout punch. And he always finds a way to bring the fight in his game where he's the strongest, even though the odds are all against him. That's why this fight is the most dangerous fight for me. And I'm going to tell you right now, I strongly believe that if I would put Jake against any of the contender that I've fought before, Jake would have won the fight. When I say that this fight, the bar is raised higher than it ever been before, I'm not lying about it. Well, I'm honored and glad to be headlining this card. It's a historical event, and I want to give the fan a good show. I'm coming there to win. It's gonna be a lot of emotion that night. It's gonna be something that I will remember for the rest of my life. I make too much sacrifice. I put too much into this to lose. At the last moment, I put everything that I got, every single thing that I have, I put it in. I cannot be more well prepared, more sharp than I am right now. I've done everything. I haven't cut any corner. So going into that fight, my confidence comes from how I prepare myself from the fight, and that's how I feel good, about it. And if I fail, even if I've done everything, it would be I would be heartbroken. It's a fight that I've been waiting for a long time. Of course, I'm Canadian. I'm fighting in Canada. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's not about the country. I have fans all around the world. When I went to Philippines in the street, like I never seen so many fans. And I'm not even from Asia. I'm not Asian. I'm not from Philippines. So I'm not. I'm fighting for myself and for my fans. Either if my fans are Canadian, American, Japanese, Brazilian, I don't care. I'm fighting for all the fans equally. Oh, right now I'm focusing on my mixed martial art career. I'm not considering wrestling for Olympic game at all. Because if I do so, I would have to dedicate myself completely to wrestling. And it's something that I can do now. I'm training for mixed martial art.